And it's easy to get iPhones. Cars financed at highway robbery interest rates. You know, this is 2017. You know, people driving around with 2010 Lexuses paying 25% interest. It's highway robbery, right? But to a young person who doesn't know any better, they're thinking, oh, this person has money, right? It's easy to get flat panel TVs in your house, fresh haircuts, bundles of weave, designer clothes, and shoes, etc., without having real wealth or high income levels. The youth don't know this though. So they become confused into thinking that this person that works these 2 menial jobs has actually acquired wealth, right? But what if they do know somebody that's legitimately comfortable without a college degree? Because that happens as well. Like there are people among us that didn't go to college and they're legitimately comfortable, they actually do have wealth. That happens. One thing I think the youth need to think about is being on this concept of being, what I call it, being on the wrong side of statistics. So to illustrate what I mean when I say the wrong side of statistics, it's like this. There are people that it can be argued that there are people that have died following car accidents because they were unable to remove the seatbelt before the car exploded. They might have been involved in a crash and their car ended up exploding and they died because they couldn't take off the seatbelt and get out the car, right? But there's this is a much smaller percentage of people that have died this way in comparison to those that have died from injuries incurred from not wearing a seatbelt. So based upon the statistical likelihood of survival, would you choose to wear or not wear your seatbelt? Because what a lot of, basically making an argument, well, I know somebody that, you know, makes a lot of money and they didn't go to college, or they live comfortably and didn't go to college. A lot of them are saying, well, I want to put my investment on, or put my money on doing the thing that is less likely of happening, right? Instead of the thing that's more likely of happening. So I mean, a lot of us would not say, well, I heard about a person that died in a car accident because they couldn't get their seatbelt off. So does that mean that we're going to ride around cars without our seatbelts on for fear that if we get into an accident and we can't get the seatbelt off, then the car's going to blow up and then we're going to die that way? It's just, we got to think about the statistical likelihood of these things so we can be on the proper side of statistics, not on the wrong side. Also, youth have this term that they employ called chasing the bag. Chasing the bag or securing the bag. They're talking about a bag of money. So, you know, it's a metaphor, right? Many youth will say that they're chasing the bag, but I offer that they don't really mean it. And I would use this as an example because it sounds good to say, but like if I tell a student that, well, for example, an anesthesiologist median income might be like $400,000 annually, right? So it makes sense that if you're really chasing a bag, you might want to be an anesthesiologist because $400,000 a year, that equates to about 33 grand per month. Most people in America, I think, don't even make 33 grand in a year, right? So this is what, you know, based upon the definition of what a bag is, this would be a real bag, right? So if the goal is to chase and secure the bag, then why would a student that was